Okay, so as I said earlier, there's a lot going on in the world, and wouldn't it be great if we had a magical flower that we could just, swing around and make the world go exactly the way we want it to? And that's what this film is all about. So we showed the short film Fairies in this very theater we were just talking about this 5 years ago, 2003, at the Cinerama, and it was one of my favorite short films that year. I thought it was just remarkably done. The cast was really talented. The music was wonderful. It was a beautiful short film. When the director in this very lobby said to me, we're going to make a feature film of this, I said, I cannot wait to show that film in our festival, and we're going to show it in this theater. And so tonight you can say it's really a musical dream come true. So without further ado, I would like to welcome the director of tonight's film, Tom Gustafson.
Thank you to Jason. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Sif. Corey's the co-creator of Where the World Lies with me. We're so excited to be back here. What's that? Oh, it's better over here, though. It's so much better. Now I can't see anyone. But we're so happy to be back here. As Jason said, in 2003, we were here with Fairies, which was actually our U.S. premiere. We're talking about it. So it's pretty wonderful and magical to be back here. So yeah, we'll be back for Q&A, and this film is really about a celebration. So hopefully tonight you'll feel some fun, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. When we made Fairies, we kind of thought it was a short film, and that was it. And as we started doing the festival circuit, there were so many programmers and audience members that came up to us and said, we really want to see more of the story. And so we started kind of tossing ideas around, and at first we had the idea of maybe even expanding it into a television series, because it was right around then that Logo and Here were kind of launching. So we started playing with the idea of kind of a Wonder Years gay thing, but Corey and I said, no, look, if it's going to be anything, it's got to be a feature first. So that's where it started.
I think that it's the same cast, but is it the same cast that you used for the short film and the feature film? It's completely different, right?
Yeah, except for the woman who plays Miss Tebbit, Wendy Roby. She's back as Miss Tebbit, as well as there's a character who plays one of the angry parents, who is Timothy's mother in the short film. But Timothy, who was in the short Fairies, is now almost 30 years old, so we couldn't cast him.
Right here.
I'm not familiar with Jessica Fogel's other work. What else has she done, and will there be a soundtrack available for this film?
Jessica has not done much. She graduated from the NYU Musical Theater Writing Program about the time that we were doing the short film, and now she lives in Chicago and is focused on her sort of like solo angry girl at a piano and clubs career, I guess you could call it. But yes, this soundtrack comes out actually 2 weeks from next Tuesday on November 11th. Yes, thank you. It's on the label PS Classics, which does a lot of Broadway shows. They just did this past season on Broadway. They did the Xanadu cast recording and Sunday Perfect George revival recording and some other stuff. So yeah, it'll be on iTunes. You can order it right now on Amazon. But yeah, 2 weeks from next Tuesday.
I just want to say, I've gotten a lot of kind of press lately because it's my first feature, and it's not just my first feature, but it is Jessica Fogel's. It's Tim Sandusky, who is incredible, who did the score and produced all the music. Corey was the production designer as well as producer and co-writer. His first feature, Keir Kelly, who's the cinematographer. A lot of the actors, it's their first feature. Tanner Cohen, who plays Timothy. Judy McLean, who plays his mother. So it's really, we kind of rallied a lot of people to really make this happen. So it's been pretty amazing.
The music is incredible, and I have found myself numerous times sort of driving, because I've seen the film, of course, at other festivals, and I've heard that the main song is what I consider the main song, up and down, and every time someone says up and down, I have that song, I start singing up and down, up and down. Really catchy. Right there.
In the course of making the short of the film, did you make any discoveries and insights about the original play?
No, I think know, as we expanded the short to the feature, I mean, the short was such kind of a one joke short. I mean, he turns everyone gay, ha ha ha. And so when we decided to go back to it, we really wanted to dive into the text of Midsummer and see how the characters in the story could kind of drive the entire expansion. So, you know, from the script stage all the way through production, anytime we kind of got stuck, we would go back and say, okay, how did Shakespeare do it? You know, and how can we do something that's much like it, and really try to use that as the inspiration for all of it. It's funny because I saw Fairies was written before Xanadu, and as we got done with the short film Fairies, I went to New York because we were moving to New York right after we made the short film Fairies, and I saw Xanadu, and I was like, when I saw the description, and so I have seen it, and actually we talked to the producer of Xanadu, and he's been a big supporter of the project. So. He said that all the actors sing their own parts, and in the feature, yes, they did. And a lot of, like, Tanner is one of those guys. Tanner is 21, lives in New York. He's never had any vocal training. He walked in. We did auditions in New York, LA, and Chicago. And yeah.
Tanner's brother was the kid that played Timothy. His brother actually was one of the producers on Sex Positive, which is in the festival, which you should see. But his brother was supposed to come to the audition because he was one of the original replacements for Mark in Rent on Broadway. But he had sort of given up acting, and his agent called at the last minute and said, "Would you mind seeing his brother?" We were like, "I guess we'll see him." And he walks in, and he's like 6'4". That's what his resume says. I think he's actually like 6'5". And it was amazing. So yeah, and he has a band called The Guts, and they're amazing, and he's a great guy.
He's a good dancer too. In that one when he's dancing. But yeah, I'm gonna sing and dance. I get so inspired by this. So actually, one of the things, the last question I want to ask you is doing a gay musical, doing a musical in like with a gay theme, obviously. What did you set? I mean, are you a big musical fan? Are you both show tune queens, or what? Like, what drew you into doing it? Because I love musicals, and I think I told you, I was sitting after Fairies in the lobby saying like, anything with glitter and music, I'm totally a fan of. But like, it's just, you know, what's your background?
Well, I started as an actor, and I'm still an actor, so I do a lot of musical theater. I also sing, but I don't really listen to show tunes in my off time. But if I did, it would be, you know, music like What's in Where the World Line.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely in high school, I was like the theater musical geek. So that's kind of found its way into this film.
You played Jesus in senior year in high school.
Of a town of like maybe 4,000, I think. So.
Shows in. Exciting. So what's I know there's a lot coming up with the film. You talked about the soundtrack coming out, so everyone should go out and buy that as a gift. But what's coming out with the film, and then what's your next project?
The film, we have sold the film in the U.S. For DVD, video on demand, and cable. So that'll all be in 2009. We decided to hold on to the theatrical rights ourselves, and we are very excited that we have been booked in 16 cities so far, which includes Seattle. So we will open, I want to say January 23rd at Landmark Varsity. So please tell everybody. We actually open in 2 weeks in Louisville, and then we open in New York and LA and through November and December. But it's really hard as an independent film, especially without a big entity as our distributor. It's all about word of mouth. It's all about grassroots. So please tell people if you enjoyed the film. But then after that, Corey has written a new script called Mariachi Gringo, which is all about a white guy who's kind of in a dead-end life, and he decides to give it all up and run away and be in a mariachi band in Mexico. So we're hoping to shoot that next year.